Hi students, this is Mrs. Pancoke. We're going to be learning today about text boxes and flyers in Lesson 60. Your learning outcomes are to use a built-in text box, draw and size a text box, format a text box, and use word art in text boxes to create a flyer. So a text box is a container for text or graphics. Text boxes are used to call the reader's attention to specific text or graphics. They are also used to position several blocks of text on a page. You can choose a pre-formatted text box or draw your own. In this activity, you will use a pre-formatted text box. The text box shown in figure 8.6 was created by selecting Simple Text Box from the built-in text box gallery. It has a border and contains a placeholder text that will be replaced with a text that you key. So if you have not done so yet, you need to open up a new blank document. I'm on page 267, step number 1 in your textbook. Step 2 says to display the text box gallery using the path at the left. So to do this, we're going to click on the Insert tab, go to the Text group, and then we're going to choose Text Box. And we're going to find the one that says Simple Text Box, which is this one. And when I do that, it automatically gets added. It says a horizontal center preformatted text box will appear. The text box will be selected and the placeholder text will be highlighted. Begin keying the following text in the text box. The placeholder text will be deleted. The text box will be resized and the text will wrap automatically to the next line. Do not tap enter after the paragraph is keyed. So all you do is you make sure that it's still highlighted, and then we go ahead and start typing. So we should say this text box has a single line border and no shading, period. When I begin keying, comma, the placeholder text is removed and the text box is resized automatically to fit the amount of text I key in the text box. It says to position the text box at the top left. Okay. Hint, the text box objects can be positioned or moved the same way as word art objects. So you can use this position key or command. It then says to save the document as, in our chapter 8, we're going to save it as 60A text box. Go ahead and hit save. Okay, so we are done with 60A and we're moving on to 60B. Next, we're going to draw and size a text box. So if you choose, you can use the Draw Text Box option to create a text box from scratch instead of using a built-in one. Once it is drawn, the size of the text box can be changed to fit the text and space. It can be moved and to the desired position. A text box may have borders and or shading. The default settings are a single line border and no shading. So step 1 for 60B says to go to File, New, and we're going to choose a new blank document. I'm going to resize that there. And we're going to open a new blank document. Center your name on line 1. I'm going to click the center and I'm going to type in my name. So you would type in your name, Mrs. Pancoke. And it says to key the text, draw textbook text box on line 2. So I'm going to hit enter and I'm going to type in draw text box on line 2, and then we're going to tap enter. It says follow the draw path at the left to select the draw text box. So we're going to select draw text box, and then it says for draw we're going to click on the insert tab once again, go to the text group, we're going to click on text box, but this time we're going to choose this option down here that says draw text box. So once I do that, my text will now be inside of a box. It says that the insertion point will change to a cross. You know what? I'm going to hit Control Z because I guess maybe we didn't need to select that. Okay, we'll try this again. Just move to this line below and we're going to choose text box, draw text box. Okay. So it says move the cross about 1 or 2 inches to the left of and below the centered text. So we want to move it possibly, about right here. And we're going to click and drag to the right and down until your text box you are drawing is about 3 inches wide and 2 inches tall. So, alright, I'm going to start it about right here, and I'm going to draw it over to about right here, and it needs to be about 2 inches tall, so I would guess that would be about 2 inches. Okay, so it should look about like this. Okay, a text box will appear, and the blinking insertion point inside the text box indicates where the text will be inserted. It says to key the following text in the text box. The text will wrap automatically. Do not press enter after the paragraph is keyed. So we need to type this in. This text box has a single line border and no shading, which are the default settings. I keyed text into the text box, comma, changed the size of the text box and horizontally centered it, period. In the next activity, comma, I will learn to change the format of a text box, period. The text box should still be selected. You can tell because it has the dots around it. To resize the box so its height and width are appropriate to its contents and space it will occupy, increase or decrease the shape, height, and width settings. Okay, so I'm going to go over here, and it says that roughly this box needs to be about 1.5 inches by about 3 inches wide. Okay, so I'll change it using the size arrows. It says if needed, move the text box so it is horizontally centered below the second line. So if I want to make sure that this is centered, I'm just going to choose Align, and I'm going to click on Align Center. If I just want to do that, it should be good there. And then we're going to save this document as 60B text box. Go ahead and hit save. Alright, we're moving on to 60C, which deals with formatting a text box. Okay. It says once a text box is inserted into your document, you can format it using the features available in the Drawing Tools Format tab that display when a text box is selected. So this is telling us that we need to go to File, Open. I'm going to go down here to my File Explorer, and I'm going to go ahead and go to my keyboarding folder and find my data files, because I need to find 60DF60C text box. Alright, here it is. Okay, so it tells me that I need to, for step 1 on page 269, that I need to select the first text box. So I'm going to click on this first one. And it says use the path at the left to display the Shape Styles gallery in the Shape Styles group. So we need to go to Drawing Tools, Format, and we're going to go to Shape Styles, which is right here. So it says to adjust the text box, it says to select a style from the gallery. So I'm going to choose any of these styles. Maybe I like this green one, so I'll use that one. You can choose any of these though. Pick one that appeals to you. It then says to adjust the text box width over here in the size. So width is right here. I'm going to adjust it to 2.5. And then adjust its height to accommodate the text. So I just clicked the up arrow until I could see the word group. And then it says to center the text horizontally. So I'm going text box. So I'm going to, oh, let's see. Actually, sorry. Center the text box horizontally. So we do need to go to Align, and we're going to choose Center. Next, we're going to format the bottom text box by selecting it. And it says we're going to select desired text box shade from the shape fill group. So here, maybe I want it to be yellow. And I'm going to change to a 3-point border. So I'm going to choose Outline, Weight, and I'm going to choose a 3-point border. And I'm going to choose a different color. Maybe I'll choose purple. And it says we're going to choose a desired shape effect from the shape effects options. So maybe I'll go to bevel and I'll choose one that looks really cool, like that one. I kind of think that one looks good. Okay. And then it says to change the width to 2.5. So here's the width. I'm going to type in 2.5. Hit enter. And adjust the height as needed to accommodate the text. So maybe I'll just keep clicking up until I know I can see all of my text. And I'm going to go ahead and center align it. It says save this document as 60C text box. So File, Save As. We'll go to our Keyboarding 8 folder. And I'm going to just save it as 60C text box. Save. And it says to go ahead and close this document. So next we're going to go on to lesson 60D, and we're going to be making a flyer. A flyer is an announcement or advertisement usually intended for wide distribution. A flyer is usually one page with large text and graphics. People create flyers for many purposes. Flyers are used to announce activities at school or a community. Flyers may tell people how to get registered for soccer, football, or baseball team. They may provide information about a school meeting or party. People use flyers to announce yard sales, apartment rentals, and items for sale. So when you design a flyer, make sure that you create a strong visual message. The flyer should be colorful so it attracts the attention of people. Have ample white space so it's easy to read. Use pictures that relate to the subject. Use all capital letters sparingly because they are difficult to read. Use fonts that are easy to read and use only 1 or 2 fonts. So we're going to go ahead and open up file 60D flyer. So on page 270, step number 2, after you have 60D flyer open, we're going to select the word art at the top. And we're going to change the text to 48 point size and set its width. So we're going to go back over here to drawing tools. We're going to set the width to 6.5. And it says you decide all other formatting features using features from the Word Art Styles group. So, maybe I'll choose this one because I like it. And maybe I'll do a transform of that one. Okay. Then it says to adjust the height to fit your formatted word art. So I think my height is good with this one. We'll leave it there. Next it says to center line the text in each text box. So to center line this text, we're going to go to the Home tab, and we're going to choose Center. Home tab, use Center to center align the text. It says to use at least an 18-point font size for the text. Okay, so we need to change our font size to 18. Alrighty. Then it says align the left text box at or near the left margin and the right text box at or near the right margin. So I'm going to align to the left for that one, and I'm going to align to the right for this one. Okay. Okay, so we need to make sure that these boxes will fit all of our text. So I'm just going to go down until I can read all of our text. So I want to make this one also about 6.8 at least. Okay. Because it says make each text box height and width the same or nearly the same and position them so the top of each is at the same vertical position. Format the text boxes using features from the Shape Styles group. So I'm going to do the same one for each of these, but maybe I will choose a preset design, choosing the same one for both, but maybe I want my text box to be purple. Okay, you can make those design choices on your own. Alright, it says to key WMSCC wants you as word art below the text boxes. You decide the formatting features. So down here at the bottom, I'm going to insert word art Maybe this time I'll choose this text, and I'm going to type in W M in all caps SCC wants you. And I'm going to align it to the center. And you can go in and change the shape effects if you want. Maybe you want to make it 3D, or you want to add maybe a bevel. You can decide, okay? Maybe you want to change the color. That's also up to you. Okay? I'll change the color. All right. It says insert the following text in a text box below the word art you inserted. You know what? I'm kind of thinking that we might want to move these guys up. Just changing the position there. Maybe I'll move this down here. Or maybe I'll put this in the middle. Looks good. All right. Now we're going to enter in another text box. So go to Insert Text Box. And you can choose a fancy one if you'd like, or you could just, maybe I'll do this one. And you're going to type in the information. For more information, contact Mrs. Keller in room 303, or come to the information meeting on Tuesday, September 14th in the information technology room 210. So maybe then, for this text box, maybe I would change the shape outline, or I might make the size a little bit smaller, and maybe I would want to center the text. There we have it. It says reposition the word art and text boxes vertically as needed to make the flyer attractive and easy to read. Remember to use the positioning tools, dragging, nudging, and positioning options as needed. The only thing that I could see here is maybe I would want to change my text box to kind of match the rest of my document. I might even want to change my font color here to match a little bit better. And then once you're done, go ahead and save your document as 60DF flyer. Save it and close. Alright, so once you're done, go ahead and save your work and turn it into Schoology.